I think brother want to start though.
Hey, Shalom. First off, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, B'kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth of the gospel of YAHAWASHI through the Holy Spirit. And peace, love, salutation, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect of the nation of Israel, the remnant that the Lord has woken up in these last days, to glorify his name, all right, his true name, and only name, which is Yahweh through his son, all right, the Messiah, Mashiach, YAHAWASHI, man. All right, we out here once again, to show Israel their transgressions, all right, in the house of Jacob their sins, to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, all right, to usher in the kingdom of Israel, which is the kingdom of heaven, okay, because this world that we're in right now, as you see, man, it's an unrighteous world, all right, it's an enslavement of the mind, of the body, of the spirit, and Esau is only going to get worse, man. All right, as we're getting closer to the end, Esau is now, all right, who the world, all right, calls what the so-called Caucasians, okay, which are the biblical Edomites of the Bible. All right, they're trying to move forward with a system or enterprise where they're going to enslave the very essence of humanity, man. All right, through what the world calls that the charagma, or I should say the RFID chip, which in the scriptures is the mark of the beast, man. But this truth, as you get Jeremiah 8, John 8 and 32, okay, this truth is what separates a man, okay, of the Lord from the rest of this world. Because without this truth, everybody would be completely through, man. But the Lord has a remnant that he has set apart, okay, that's what the word holy means, is separate, all right? And what separates us is the truth. I believe also you can find me, somebody can look up, sanctify them through that truth. I think it's John 17, if I'm not mistaken, sanctify them through that truth. 17 and 7, yep. But I pull that in John?
John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, this red letter, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
There you go, man. That's a commonly known scripture, in these churches. You should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. But the question is, what is the truth? What is the truth? Because when you go to churches, they're giving you Christianity. You go to Islam or Muslim, they giving you Islam, the Quran. But there's only one truth. Okay, and what we're in, this is why people come up to, oh, what are y'all? Our heritage is our heritage, man. That's something that we had to put back on pursuant to Ezekiel 37th chapter. But what our doctrine is, what our ideology is just the truth, man. And that's what this world doesn't like, because Esau created and built the world based off of lies, man. That's why in the book of 1 John, it says what? The whole world lieth in wickedness. Okay, this whole world lies in wickedness, and everybody is perpetuating a lie. And in the end, as the Lord said, second Esdras, you find me that second Esdras 6th chapter, that truth shall flourish, and that's what's creating so much, you would say, end time, events happening in the world. World War III, that's the hot topic. Okay, nuclear war is being spoken about by superpowers, man. Russia, yep. Hey, Russia just popped off tested a nuclear missile called Satan II. Yep. China, they just tested a nuclear missile. India, as a brother just said. So nuclear war is on the talk. But why is that happening? It's because the truth is flourishing right now. Because this world that we're in has to go, man. This world has to go, because this world is based off of a deception. It was that Revelation, the 20th chapter, it says what? That he went throughout the world to, when he was loosened from his prison, he went out the world to deceive the nations, man. And the nations are deceived. And who's the main nation that is deceived? It's Israel, man. Because you have completely gone from who you are, what your purpose is on the earth, which is to what? To represent Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, the creator, man. That's why the Lord, one of the names that the Lord gives us is what? Zion, man, which means memorial, to Zion in the Hebrew, which means memorial. But when you look at our people, all right, when you look at these people on the sign here, they're not a memorial to the Lord. The majority, I should say, are not a memorial to the Lord, man. They're really in the image of Esau. All right, that's why I keep going in that where it says you are of your father the devil, but it's a little bit further down. Yeah, we're gonna hold that this year. You get that?
Okay. I'm gonna start 32 again. John 8 and 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And the truth shall make you free. Go ahead.
Oh, they answer him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How says thou, you shall be made free?
Hey, and that's right there, man, because that's even today you got Jake in that mindset.
Right.
You know, they think that they're not enslaved, man. They think that they're free, that they have their own sovereignty. But as we were just talking about coming up here, you got to pay taxes, man. And it's not even like that you're offering to pay. They'll take it from you, and they don't even use it for a righteous reason, man. They'll lie and tell you, oh, they were using your taxes for X, Y, and Z. But ultimately, it is to do what? To get them richer, man. And them to use your money to further oppress you. Want to say something, bro?
Yeah, like when we was in Atlantic City that time, Camp I always remember the guy came up saying being sovereign. And the Elder Shah always bring a point up, the acronym called CALL. In order to be sovereign, you need capital, arms, land, and labor. I mean, and Jake don't have none of that. You don't have no capital. You got FRA notes. Capital is like land, buildings, and shit like that. You know, resources. Capital, you don't have arms. I mean, your little punk-ass guns and your little small ammunition and rounds, that's not arms. You know, you don't have land, you know, and you don't control the labor force. So that was a beautiful point as far as sovereignty that the elder brought out. But that's what YAHAWASHI coming to give us. CALL, called capital, arms, land, and labor.
Hey, yep. He's giving that to the ones who are called and chosen. You know? Because as the scripture says, many are called, but few are chosen. And the ones who are chosen are the ones that are made free, man. The ones who have been made free through the truth. Go ahead.
I got a piece of that.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 2. And it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Hey, run that back again.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. But unto you, matter of fact, I'll start at the top.
Okay, yeah.
For behold, the day cometh, she told the war, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
Hey, it said the day cometh that's going to burn as an oven, man. You know, that's not nothing late. That's not nothing to play with. That's not nothing. That's not something that's possibly going to happen. It said, behold, the day is coming, man. Which means, because the Lord gave visions, and that's what separates the scriptures from any other text or scroll or manuscript in the world, man. That this was divinely sent from, as the Lord said, I declare the end from the beginning. So these visions that the prophets saw was really something that they saw in the future happening, man. The Lord gave them an insight to see something in the future. And then now what Malachi saw was nuclear missiles being shot from one end of the earth to the other, man. Which is going to cause the world, that day to burn as an oven. All right, where the majority of Israel is at is here, where? In Babylon, man. So go ahead, keep going.
For behold, the day, Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up.
Yeah, it said all the proud and all that do wickedly.
Right.
Because I said pride is the beginning of sin, man. And a lot of people, they're hella prideful in this place, man. You know? And they look at being humble as an evil thing. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Because the Lord said pride wasn't made for man. But yet, here it is, because going back to John the 8th chapter, majority of people have drunken of the wine of Esau's fornication, has put on Esau's mindset, and Esau is a proud man. Therefore, you got a lot of people that's walking around proudly, man. And they're proud in wicked things. They're proud in being an adulterer. They're proud in being an idolater, a homosexual, all right, transgender, all the things where the Lord hates. That's what people are prideful in. And on top of that, the Lord hates pride. Generally, you're not even supposed to be proud that, you know, being proud that you're in, like, that you know the truth, man. The scripture says what? To be proud, to glory in the fact that you know that YAHAWASHI, man. Okay? That's what you're supposed to be, that's what you're supposed to glory in, the fact that the Lord has opened your eyes to the truth. But yeah, you got people that are prideful even in the truth, man. You know, and that's why the Lord said that time comes great misery is going to come on the earth because they have walked in great pride in the latter days, man. Go ahead.
Yep. And all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. That it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Hey, it says the day is coming that's going to burn them up, man. You know, the stuff that the bombs dropping over there in Ukraine, that's light to what the Lord got coming here to America, man. Okay, hey, even what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, the Lord said that it would be more tolerable in Sodom and Gomorrah than what's going to happen in these times, man. Because the indignation of the Lord is not going to pass until he has accomplished it, man. He said he's going to set his indignation on this place. This world is reserved for the wrath of the Lord upon the ungodly, upon the prideful ones, upon the ones who have not repented. All right, and that's the majority of our people because they choose not to receive the love of the truth. And you can't say that you didn't know it because the Lord did what? He sent his prophets out, rising them early throughout the four corners of the earth, day and night, sending the prophets to warn our people from their transgressions, man. To give them warning from YAHAWASHI, but yet they want to be prideful, and that pride mentality gets them in the mindset of being wicked, man, and not fearing the Lord. Okay? Because when you don't fear the Lord, if you don't fear the Heavenly Father and His Son in your mind, you now think you can just do whatever you want. But that's a trick. That's a trick bag, man. Because the Lord said, "Woe unto you, woe unto them that fall into the hands of the living power," man. Yeah, exactly.
Verse 2 of Malachi chapter 4. But unto you, go to what you just said, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Yeah, man. It said to you that unto you that fear my name. Well, let you know that it's not to everybody, man. Because everybody don't fear the Lord, man. They say, "Oh, I fear everything but God." That's a damn lie. Some be like, I don't fear nothing but God.
Yeah.
But that's a damn lie. It's a complete opposite, man. The majority of Jake fear Esau. And you're going to find that out real soon when he implements mandates this charagma, man. Because what are people going to do? They're going to fear the repercussions of what Esau is going to take from you rather than fearing what the Lord said he's going to do to you if you do take that, man. But at the end of the day, the Lord is not mocked. Okay, the Lord said he is not mocked, man. Everything the Lord said is going to happen to the ones who are wicked, that's what's going to happen to them. You're not going to be able to escape it. You're not, and in that day, you're not going to have mercy because this is the time of the Lord's mercy, man. The fact that the Lord has his prophets out here warning you is the mercy from the Lord.
Yep. Right. Verse 3, and it says, "And you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts."
Go back to, unless you want more, go back to John.
Okay, there's only one last verse.
Okay.
Yeah. Verse 4 says, "Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments." This is stuff they don't.
Hey, yeah. Hey, remembering the commandments, because even in the commandments it talks about fearing the Most High, man. That's a commandment. And you're supposed to fear the Lord, man. But once again, our people, because they have been captivated by Esau and their mindset, they don't know what the truth is. So they don't think you're supposed to fear God. God doesn't want you to fear him. He wants you to love him.
God don't want you to fear him.
Yeah. But you gonna find out real soon because the Lord gonna make the whole world fear, man. I was thinking about the scripture where it says every knee shall bow. How's that gonna happen? The Lord's gonna make you bow to him. When you are bowing to somebody, when you're being subjected to somebody, it's not because people don't subject themselves because they love somebody so much. It's really through fear, man. Because when you even go into the word reverence, that word reverence is to fear or to respect to a certain point, man. And now even with a wife, you're supposed to reverence her husband as the church reverends the Most High. And that goes into fearing, man. But even our women, they don't fear us because ultimately we got no power, man. Right. There's no power. So why are you going to fear? Why are you going to fear Jake when he doesn't have no power for you to fear him?
Yeah, and because the Lord told the disciples, he's like, fear not, because y'all going to be protected in those days.
Right.
So it's not like fear, like you're trembling, and because when that type of fear is kind of left-handed, to where you had your body go, you pass out, you have heart attacks and shit like that. It's not really, don't get it fucked up. When you see something you don't understand, like how Nas said, man fear what they don't understand. Even though we understand what's coming, but when we actually see it, we don't really know where we stand, whether the Lord gonna have mercy or not. So of course you're gonna be scared, like physically scared, because you're dealing with an angelic entity that's mad as hell. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but when fear, like the elder saying, fear comes with the word respect. Like when the Lord, a bully in school, he's feared because people know, meaning what? He's respected. It's not like everybody in the school is scared of him, so to say. It's people in the school that will fight him if they had to. However, he's just respected. You know not to joke on his sneakers. You know not to play him in front of girls because he'll go in your shit. So that person is more, it goes into the word respect than more of a tremble type thing, to where you just panicky and your fucking vital signs is about to go out.
God, yep. And that's what Esau in this world has taken away, from the earth, man. The fear of the Most High, because now through their technology and through their sword, Esau wants, as we were talking about before, Esau wants to take the seat of the Most High. So he wants everybody to fear him. He wants everybody to be in his image. Okay, and that's why the tribulation, the Jacob's trouble, the famines, the pestilences, all those things are happening, and Esau is going to use that as a device or a mind control over people to say, well, if you're fearing these things, I have something that I can take you from escaping that. So just fear or respect what I say, and you'll be safe from those other calamities, man. But that's why you gotta have, once again, you gotta have the truth, because the truth is what's going to separate a man from not going down the road of Esau's path and staying on the road of YAHAWASHI, man. And the Lord is going to what? He said he's going to, the Son of Righteousness is going to stand up for them in that day, man. Through divine intervention, through spiritual power. And that's our faith that Esau, he can't take that from the elect. He can take our jobs, he can take our land, he can take our life, but you can't take our faith in YAHAWASHI, man. And that's what he hates.
Yeah. Continuing on in John chapter 8, verse 33, it said, they answer him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How said thou you should be made free? YAHAWASHI answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. Verse 35, and a servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
Yeah, and that's what YAHAWASHI did, man. He made Israel, starting with the elect, really the remnant, he made them free in the spirit, man, in the mind. Because now, although we all fall short of the glory and we all sin, we're not servants of sin. Our minds have been transformed to where we don't think about doing things that are unlawful, or we don't premeditate the things of the flesh, man. And even when we have those, because sometimes demons will hop on your mind and it'll make you think that. But when you're made free from sin, you have the ability to rebuke that mindset, man. Through the name of YAHAWASHI, man. You're able to rebuke that evil thought. Yep, it goes back to, because you respect the authority, and you respect the wrath and indignation of the Lord, the righteous anger, man. You respect that of the Lord. Go ahead.
No, I gotta say, that's why I say blessed is he to have eyes that see, because the reason why they fear Esau is because they see his power. They feel like they see him, so I'm gonna fear him. They don't really see the Most High and everything in majesty. So it's like, I can't really fear that, and I'm not gonna go by some guys in the streets talking about it. And you know what I'm saying, even though what they're saying is true and whatnot, but it's like they don't see YAHAWASHI to fear him yet. That's why I said when he comes, shall confess.
Yep, that's why I said all nations shall well because of him, man. Because right now, and that's how beautiful, like the Lord set up this movie. Right now, it's just us on the corner speaking, but we're speaking in the name and in the power. Oh, give me Micah 3 verse 8. We're speaking in the power of the Lord, man. But he chose the lowly, he chose the unskilled, he chose the babes of the world to speak his word. Because the words we're speaking are powerful, whether or not you believe it or not, man. Right. But the Lord is actually going to show He's going to manifest the power that what we're speaking. And the fact that we're even up here, all right, speaking against this kingdom in his own kingdom, that shows you the power that is dealing with us, man. Because most people can't do that. And what do Jake do? They have millions of people, but they'll talk about hands up, don't shoot. They want to try to incorporate or assimilate into Esau society, man. We're talking about separating from this place, man. We're talking about him going down. In a sense, Esau can say that, and he is going to do it. He can say that we're speaking treasonous, man. But we're not enticing or inciting people to do anything. We're talking about waiting on the Lord, man. But we're saying that in the power, in the might of Yahawah Yahawashi. Get that?
Micah 3 verse 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression and to Israel his sin.
Truly we are in the power and might of Yahawah Yahawashi to declare judgment. Because wrong judgment is going out in this place, man. Wrong, the ways that people think and operate is all messed up. And it's so bad to the fact that when we come out here and tell them the right way, they think about it as being the wrong way.
Right.
When we say that a man and a woman is only supposed to be together, they'll say, "Oh, that's wrong," or "You're hateful." No, you're hateful for believing it any other way, man. You're hateful for believing that you can eat certain foods, anything. You're hateful for saying that you can worship any other. You can worship a creature. You can worship Satan. You can worship Baphomet, whatever. You know? Go ahead.
Proverbs 17 and 15. He that justified the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord.
Even they both are an abominations to the Lord, man. And you got a lot of people that are condemned, because who are the just? The Lord said the just shall live by faith. The ones who are doing the works and having the faith of the Lord, that's who the just is. But those people, the ones that are up here prophesying in the name of Yahawah Yahawashi, they're condemned in this world, man. They're looked at as being the what they say, the most hateful group in America, extremists, supremists, they're domestic terrorists. But the Lord said the ones who are condemning those people are an abomination, man. So that's why the Lord said even your thoughts, every idle word should have to be an account for in that day, man. Because you may not say it with your mouth, with your physical mouth, but you got a lot of people that think evil things against us, man. And it'd be somebody say, it'd be even people that you cool with that think evil things about you. And sometimes they'll say it, but they'll say it in jest or make it seem like it's not that bad. But that's how they really feel. And you think, and the Lord is, once again, the scripture says that it'll be marvel if one goes unpunished. This is the simple fact that you're thinking something evil against the men of the Lord. The Lord got that accounted for, man. It'll be better for you to hang a millstone around your neck and be cast into the sea.
And the damn thing about it is it's the Holy Spirit that they're hating, because the person that could be your close friend, y'all grew up together, whatever, that was cool. But as soon as you started preaching in the name of the Lord, Yahawah Yahawashi, that's where the separation started. So really, in retrospect, they hating the Lord all the way. They hating the Lord and they hating that you associated with it.
And that's what the Lord said. They that despise you, despise me. See, we always say it's bigger than Nino Brown, man. You know, it's bigger than us. We're just representatives. We're just vessels of Yahawah Yahawashi to speak his truth. And we're made free. And now we have a servitude, a ministry to go out and teach others. That's why the Lord said, if you love me, feed my sheep. Because if you're free, if you're free out of bondage, and you love your brother, if you love the Lord, you're gonna want to get him free from the bondage as well. You're not gonna be like, I'm just leaving you there and you go run out into the field, free. You come back and you want to try to liberate your fellow brother, man. And that's why the Lord said that the two greatest commandments is love the Most High and love your neighbor as yourself. And this is a great showcasing of love, man.
Luke 10 and 16. He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me, and he that despiseth me despiseth him that sent me.
Yeah. So a lot of people say they love God, but the Lord said, if you love me, why not do the things I command you to do, man?
Why you call me Lord,
Why you call me Lord, Lord, and do not what I command you to do?
Very fair question.
Because if somebody's your Lord, the word Lord means master, you gonna do what your master tells you, man. But see, they'll do what Esau tells them to do, because going back to their carnal. So if Esau is in your face showing you that he's your Lord, he's your master, you're gonna do what he tells you to do. And the things Esau is telling you to do is the wicked things, man. But your power, your Lord, the one that you have made a covenant with, you don't do the things that he told you to do. So that's why when he comes back, he's coming back to rectify it, man. Because you're his servant, but you're not serving him properly. You're not even serving him at all. You got something?
Yeah. It's John 15, verse 18. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
There you go, man. If you were of the world, and that's a straight cut to all of these mega million dollar so-called Christian pastors, man. T.D. Jakes, that other guy that's been getting on my damn nerve, man. The internet preacher dude. Yeah. And then you see his wife did something where like she would look like she was about to like start bending down. Like she had a dress on and she was bending down, but he opened the door and she acted like she was going to pray and shit. I'm like, yo, man. And they think that he come in here walking like this, his hands like that. I'm like, yo, this is a gimmick to y'all, man. Like it's like a gimmick. Like you're using the platform of being a spiritual leader, and you're using the Bible on top of that, the word of the God, but you're playing with it, man. You're playing with it, and you're using it as a sensation to get popularity, man.
That's what it's working too. That's the fucked up part.
Yep. But run that back again if you got it.
It's John 15, verse 18, starting at 18. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you.
So the world hated the Lord, man. So who is this? No, we don't got the signs, but who is this Cesare Borgia person that is loved worldwide, man? Everybody, people will literally kiss a statue of this God, man, because they think, oh, that's my God, that's my Savior. But the Lord said the world hated me. So that's how you know that spirit that is in this idol is not the spirit of the Son of God, man. Because the world hated the Lord, man, because he was against the world. He was against the setup of the world. He was against the ways of the world. And what time period was he in? He was in the Roman Empire, man. During the Roman Empire, he was hated. And we're now in Rome again, the daily wounds being healed. So the ones who are coming in the spirit of the Lord are going to be ones who are actually hated in this Rome, man. So that's through a process of elimination. You have to say, well, it can't be the people who are teaching the doctrine of T.D. Jakes, the doctrine of Creflo Dollar, Joel Osteen, Vocab Malone, because all those people got very large followings, man. You can get T.D. Jakes to go and go to the White House and sit down with the president, man. Yeah, they're popular, and their popularity is something that people they invite them in. But us, we're popular in this world because the Lord is uplifting his name. But what is our popularity in this world looked at? Is looked at as we're popular for being hated. We're popular for being them crazy guys, them conspiracy theories. Oh, they're hateful. So when people see us, it's sort of like what? Infamous. That's what the word infamous means. To be known for something quote unquote bad. But once again, woe unto you that call evil good and good evil. In a world of wickedness, of course, righteousness is going to look bad. And vice versa. In our kingdom, that's why Esau is going to be narrowly looked upon, man. Everything that he's going to be known to be hated for his wickedness. Just a little bit more?
Yeah. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
The Lord chosen us out of the world. And how did he choose us? By giving us the truth, man. Which has, once again, it's made us free from the bondage of Esau, from the bondage of sin, from the bondage of the even though we have to do our day-to-day livelihood in this world, we're not captivated by those things, man. The Lord said what? Get your daily bread. Yeah, be a user. Yep, be a user of the world, not an abuser of it, because we're made free from this. We're just pilgrims waiting to pass through. We're literally just waiting for us to be taken out of this world and be established where we really belong, which is in the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth. A whole different setup, a whole different government, man. So we're not in this matrix, even though we're not of this matrix, I say, even though we're right now in the matrix, man. And that gives us a sense of really comfort. Because everything that happens to us, we know, well, it's all temporary anyway, man. The sufferings of this present time can't be compared to the glory that we're going to get in the kingdom, which is an eternal weight of glory, man. That's something?
No.
All right. You got that? Oh, you still got? Okay. Yeah.
John chapter 8.
Peace, bro.
Peace, bro. Damn, long time, man.
Long time.
Yeah, bro. What's up, bro? How you been, man?
Somebody go on tour right now?
Yeah, we teaching, man. Take care, man. God bless, bro.
I remember him from like years
Oh, I just remember what that was. Yeah, you said that.
I don't know his name, but I remember. Gladiator, that's what Gabar used to go in Chief.
No, wow, shit, homie, he's lit. But anyway. Yeah, he had like all the tattoos on his face.
Oh,
yeah. What was that, 30...
Hey, but
33
you know, they always say, like, the Lord dealt with descendants, man. And the fact that they, he showed respect to the prophets, that could just be his lot. He can get saved just by showing respect.
He was holding not a position.
Right, exactly.
See, he didn't have a hair before. He didn't have it like braids, right?
I don't think
he
so.
had dreads and he cut it.
Yeah.
Okay, so reading on John chapter 8, on 35. It said, and the Son abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you.
Hey, and that goes to show you that the Lord already knew that all of Israel wasn't going to be following him, man. So when you got this whole setup, we got to bring all Israel together, but that was never the Lord's mindset. Because he even knew that you had Israelites that wasn't, even though they were Israel of the seed of Abraham, they wasn't his father, man. Because you got like, even in Bel Air, you had with Will Smith. He knew it, even though his father was his father, but he was like, "Yo, you're not my dad. Like you didn't raise me, So it's like you can be somebody's seed, but if you're not in their image or you're not grown, they didn't teach you or you didn't grow up underneath them, then it's like you're not really their son. And that's what 2/3 of Israel is right now. You have a son, you have a son, but you don't know anything about him. You've never seen him before.
Like Jake called friends that they influenced their son.
Yeah.
They be like, yo, Reggie, man, that's my son. You be like, yo, you know Reggie? You be like, man, that's my son, man.
Even Paul said that about Timothy.
Yeah.
He was like, my son who I begat in the truth.
Right.
Because you can, and why is that? Not talking about the physical, but it's talking about the spiritual. You're following after this person's ways. And that's what YAHAWASHI was saying. Like if you were really Abraham's seed, then you would do what Abraham did. Abraham had faith. Abraham was righteous. Abraham kept he believed, but you don't believe. So you might came through his nutsack, but spiritual, the Lord was speaking deep, and that's why them wicked Jews, they couldn't get it, because they was on some carnal shit. We from Abraham. But Rito said, if you was Abraham's seed, then you would do what Abraham did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, it says, this is John chapter 8, verse 38. It says, I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. They answered, verse 39, they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father.
See, they're still carnal, man. They're still in that carnal, they're still speaking low level. Because once again, you can have a stepdad, right, that raised you from a baby. And you call him father, not because you're of his seed, but because of what? Because he raised you. And he instilled values in you. And you respect him in a way that is different from you going to respect your actual seed father because he didn't raise you. So you look at this guy, you have a lot of women that get married, but they have a stepfather, but their real father will get like, they will be like hate because their real father wasn't around, but what they wanted to do, like walk him down the aisle. But it was like, no, I'm gonna have him walk me down the aisle because he was here for me. He raised me, and he was like, he nurtured me, and you know, brought me up.
And his likeness.
In his very, that's the word I'm looking for. A father, the seed doesn't make the person the likeness. A father, you are in the likeness of a person through their customs and how you are raised in them. That's why the Lord said, we'll make man in our image. And that's why the scripture says what? Call him Abba Father. Because we're supposed to be made in the image of Yahawah by Hashem YAHAWASHI. But what the Lord is about to say about the wicked Israelites, they're going to say, you're of your father the who? Go ahead.
Yep, it says, verse 39, so they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. YAHAWASHI, aka Jesus, saith unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. Verse 40, but now ye seek to kill me, a man have told you the truth, which I have heard of Yahawah. This did not Abraham.
Yep.
Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication, we have one father, even God.
Still low level, man.
And Yahushua said unto them, if Yahweh were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh.
Now remember, the Lord said, I know you're of Abraham's seed, but now he's saying, if you were of Yahweh, if Yahweh was your father, then you would love me. So there's a conflict of interest there, because we know that Abraham was called what? A friend of God. Abraham through Isaac through Jacob, all the way down to Yahawashi, that's a seed line, but it's also a image, a likeness that Israel has been separated from. You can't be, that's why in Romans the 9th chapter it said that they that are of Israel, not of all Israel. All Israel, so like how they go? They that are of Israel are not all Israel.
They're not the Israel, the righteous.
Yeah, because you can be an Israelite by seed, and you got a lot of people that think once they know that they're Israelites, they in the kingdom, like they in the kingdom.
Ticket, that's the ticket.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Oh, I know I'm in the truth. I know I'm an Israelite. I know I'm making it. No, they knew they were Israelites. All the people that crucified Yahawashi, that said crucify him, they knew they were Israelites. So it's more than just knowing that you are an Israelite, man. Because that goes to the Ezekiel 37 chapter, the putting on the flesh. But then the breath of life had to be the Lord had to put the breath of life in them, and that's when they became the exceedingly great army. And the breath of life is the likeness of Yahweh by Hashem YAHAWASHI.
And going into the word image, right? This just some synonyms for image, likeness. And when you go into Colossians and say he was made an image of the Father, it's just, when you look it up, it goes into the same thing. Likeness, resemblance, depiction, portrayal, representation, sculpture, figure, a carving.
Carving.
Going into the Nicaragua with Esau, right? The carving, a painting, or a picture, or a portrait. And it's crazy when you take a portrait or an image or a picture of something. If you understand cameras, it deal with that lens and it deal with that flash of light. And also seeds have that. When you check out sperm also have sperm is so bad. When Esau broke it down, it actually has light inside inside the sperm. It's light inside the sperm. That's why when it's like a rape or some type of killing, they get the fluorescent light. They put the fluorescent light on, and whatever sperm or blood is, they got the luminol for blood. You know, I'll be on the ID channel, but they got the for sperm, they got the fluorescent light. And when they turn the lights off and flash the fluorescent light, wherever sperm is, it'll illuminate, because sperm does actually have light in it on the carnal side. But however, to be made in the likeness of something, as far as like from a picture, a flash of light, in a sense, that's more through what? Through the spirit. That's why he said, I was going to bring out the point of New York slang. In New York, they call each other, like we boys and shit. I'll be like, yo, son, and he'll call me son. You know what I'm saying? But we're not saying I'm sonning you. Now, that's when you playing somebody like, yo, he trying to son you. Then that's when you get a little defensive. but he can call me son. Sometimes we from Jersey, sometimes we say it still. It's even old slang, but so we be like, chill, son. But it's not because you my man. We agree on the same shit because birds of the same feather flock together. So we look at each other and see a resemblance of each other. So we call each other what? Son.
Right. Yeah. Even like when a dad, right, a father, he'll be more proud of his son if he's like grow up in his likeness, more so if he look like him. You know, like a proud father would see his son doing something good. He's like, yo, that's my son, because like he gave him a certain likeness instilled into him. How you doing? Instilled into him, and that's what the Lord is looking at. Lord don't care about if you look like an Israelite or not. It's about, are you in the likeness of him really through his son? Because that's what YAHAWASHI got when he did it, when he came on the scene as the Messiah. He got the glory back because he said, I always do that which my Father delights in, man. And that's why you also said that you don't need to see the Father. You see the Father, you see the Son, because I'm in his image.
Right.
I'm coming to do in his likeness exactly what he's doing. Read that, Bible Shah? Yep, representation.
Romans 8, verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate. How you say that? Predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
To be conformed, all right? To be conformed in the image of his Son, in the likeness of his Son. And that's why Paul said, be ye followers of me as I'm followers of YAHAWASHI. The Lord legit came on the scene to show you, hey, I'll show you how to do this, son. Lord came on the scene to show Israel how to do this, man. So that we can get back to being the sons of God. Because that's when YAHAWASHI said what? I mean, Yahweh, Revelation 21st chapter said, the tabernacle of God is with men, and I should be their God, and they should be my people. Because we're going to be made in the image of YAHAWASHI, but right now we're practicing that. We're striving to be like that. And of course, we fall short, but the first son did it. He did it perfectly, so now we have a mediator, we have an intercessor when we fall short. And that's how we're made free. Although we sin, we're still made free because we're following after the image, the likeness of YAHAWASHI. Yeah, yep. Because he did it perfectly.
Yep. Continuing on, John chapter 8, says, verse 42. It says, Yahushua said unto them, if Yahweh your father, ye will love me. For I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father the devil.
And that's why they couldn't hear it, Salakia. That's why they couldn't hear it, because you might have been Abraham's seed, but your mind, your image, what was some other synonyms? Your likeness.
Your like a picture.
Or your portrayal.
Portrayal, yeah.
Is in the image of the devil.
Sculpture,
Yep.
carving.
Your carvings. You're carved after the image of the devil, man. So you can't hear the truth. You can't hear what real righteousness is saying because you're in the mind of the devil. Go ahead.
Right there.
Yeah. The Lord manifested, man.
That's crazy.
Why can't read that part? Why can't you understand my speech? Read that again.
John chapter 8, verse 43. And it's like right in time, he walked right when we talk about this. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word.
There you go, man.
And he didn't hear the word yet.
He didn't hear the word.
He's shaking it too. I'm like, damn. That's like the Lord just did, like, see, niggas like that.
You see his face?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
But they don't say that I'm of Abraham's seed.
Yeah, but if you be like, that was Bishop T.D. Jakes or my man's, nigga,
yeah,
he'd be all up in his face. He's like, oh man, good sermon today, Reverend.
Let me give you something.
Yeah,
Let
he
me
gonna
give you
have my
something.
shillings.
You know what's crazy? They don't listen to what the other pastors are saying, so-called pastors. Because if you ask a lot of them, like, what was taught today at church, they being so in an emotional rant, they not even listening to whatever fucking message is what's being said under that bullshit.
Yep, they just there for soothsaying, man.
They just like in the trend, in the zombie state trend. They just there just to be there.
It really goes back to plantation Christianity, man. Because they feel like they're obligated to go to church on Sundays because that was the day Esau told you that you would get some rest from toiling.
Saturday you party,
Yeah.
and Sunday was church.
So that's what they do. They just feel like it's been embedded in them because once again, they don't have the truth. So they're still captivated by the wiles of the devil, man. So that's why they go so gung-ho. And when they go there, they're not even really there for a spiritual, God, Elder said, they don't even know what they're learning. Even though they're feeding you GMO doctrines anyway, but they don't even know what is being said, man. But once again, it goes back to not being made free because they don't have the actual truth, man. And only the truth of Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi can give you that knowledge and wisdom. You know, you can go to schools, you can have a doctor's degree, you can be very eloquent speaking, but once you can't come up against the knowledge of Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi, man. And this truth is so high level, but the Lord gave it to the ones who are on the low level. And that's the crazy part of it. That's the beauty of it. So that's why somebody like that guy can just walk around and shake his head because he's looking in the outward. He's looking at the appearance of like whatever these guys talking about. It can't be knowledgeable because look at them. But that's why the Lord said, I set up the basis of the things to confound the things that are on top, man.
And you quoted the scripture when it says, he condemned even if they didn't say nothing out loud, because he didn't say nothing.
Yep.
But your body language, him shaking his head, that could very well condemn him doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? And they don't think of stuff like that. When I seen that, I'm like, hey, you know, when he did that, I seen it's like exactly what we're talking about. It fit with him walking past, shaking his head like that.
But what was the balance? The other brother, the gladiator dude that came,
right,
yeah.
he was like probably more street tone, especially the dude he was with from my parents.
Right.
But they gave what? Respect.
Right. Yep.
He's an older Jake that's supposed to kind of know better and be at least listen before you judge.
Yep.
And he just shook his head.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that shows you the Lord deal with that balance.
That's what he said Jay gonna do. He said they're gonna shake their head, they're gonna shrug their shoulders.
It's at you. Yep. But hey, that's all a part of the ministry, man. That's all a part of the labor that the Lord said that we have to chosen you in the furnace of affliction.
Yeah.
You know? This is a part of the affliction.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it says, okay, John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
And abode not in the truth. Because going back to what I said in the beginning, this is not no religion. It's just what we are in is what the Lord was in, was just the truth, man. He said, well, I am the way, the truth, and the light. That's it. It ain't, oh, what are y'all? Well, even if you say, we're Hebrew Israelites, but that's not the doctrine. Because any Israelite can say, oh, we're Hebrew Israelites, because technically a wicked person can say that. They're Hebrew Israelites.
Can say that. Can we really, like, you know?
Right. You know? You got a whole 48ers who say it. You know, you got a whole nother nation of Esau. The devil says he's an Israelite.
That's crazy.
But it's not about, and that's what the Lord is saying about the whole, like, I will provoke you with a foolish nation. Because even with that, you got Israel that are, even with Nathan, when he see Nathan, he said, what? An Israelite indeed, who has no guile in him. Because that's what truly being a son of God, prince of the power is, man. Is having no guile in you. Because remember, we are meant to represent the Lord. So if you're not representing the Lord as being perfect even as your Father in heaven is perfect, then you're not really being an Israelite. So you can say it all you want, but it's a separation when it comes to your deeds. That's why I said love in word and in deed. And 2/3 of Israel, they're of their father the devil because of what? The lust of their father they do. Their deeds showcase who they're in the likeness of. That's why you got Jake gangbanging, you got Jake committing adultery, all into black culture, you know, all into, you know, the religion, the idolatry, okay, the sodomy. All of that is of the lust of the devil, man, of the left hand. So the Lord looking at them like, yeah, you're Abraham's seed, but you ain't my son. And that's why you're going to die the death of the heathen.
That's how you know the religion is BS, because religion is not an obligation. Because you could go in and out of a religion and be like, you know, I'm not doing this. And nothing be held against you. But this is remember, this is what all of us supposed to be doing. This is a covenant. This is an agreement that the power made with one nation. So it's not like you could just jump in and out for this. You know what I'm saying? We already jumped down and look what it did to us. Now we're trying to get back. And now that's what we're trying to do now, get back.
And that's getting it back what? Through the truth, man.
Right.
Elder, you can give me I think it's Second Ezra 5:1. You know, because it's about as read on a little bit more.
Yeah,
I think the Lord's gonna say some more.
John chapter 8 verse 44 says, Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
And that's who? From Cain, man. Because guess what? Cain knew the truth. Cain knew the truth, man. Him and Abel, well, he knew the truth before Abel because he was born first. But Adam was made in the likeness of the Heavenly Father. So Adam obviously told his sons what to do, what is a righteous sacrifice, what is a non-righteous sacrifice. And that's why when they came to bring the sacrifice, the offering to the Lord, Cain came with something that wasn't truth. It wasn't what you're supposed to do. And then on top of that, he murdered his brother. So he knew the truth, and Esau knew the truth because his father was Isaac. Yep. And the truth was that he made an agreement verbally. He made an oath, and he tried to go back on his oath, and that's against the law. That's a part of the law that when you make an oath, that's why Jacob said that. Swear to me this day. He made it clear. Swear to me this day that you're gonna give it to me. But Esau didn't abide in the truth, so he tried to go against what that law was, man. Not being a man of your word. Go ahead.
Okay. Because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and a father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
Because I tell you why? Because you're of the devil. And Esau, and same thing in this day and age, he doesn't abide in the truth. The scripture says, because thou hatest instruction and casteth my word behind thee, man. So everything that is about the truth, Esau completely disregards it and sets up something completely opposite. That's why he's in the power of Satan. The word Satan means adversary. He's adverse to what is truth, what is real, what is actually the instructions of YAHAWASHI. And our people have taken hold of that side, which ultimately leads to death. I think that was it.
Second Ezra 5:1. Now as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that which they dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Yep. Hey, and that time came, man. Would have fallen away first. You know, Israel was without Israel was without the knowledge of truth. But now in these latter days, we have the truth is flourishing again through the remnant, through the ones who have been made free through YAHAWASHI, man. And now truth and now faith is flourishing because real faith is tied to truth. When you believe something is true, you're gonna have a very strong faith in it, man. You're gonna have very strong faith in something that you are convinced is true. And that's why a lot of people, even in these churches, when the hour of temptation comes, they're gonna fold because they don't really believe that. They don't really believe in that doctrine because ultimately it's not true. And you can poke holes in it. They believe not the truth because they have pleasure in unrighteousness. So when truth gets put to the test, which is what the hour of temptation, the ones who abide in truth, they're going to stand firm. But everybody's faith is going to be tested. Muslims' faith is going to be tested. Christianity, Mormons, Esau is coming with the setup. He's coming with the setup to test everything. Well, Lord really is doing it. He's testing everybody's faith.
Their faith was already tested with the jab.
Oh yeah, the juicy jab.
The jab was the ultimate. Well, not the ultimate, right. But that was basically
it's like
a precursor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to show what it is. All that Islam and all the other bullshit religions, all y'all got jammed and jabbed up. Why? Because you knew it was off. You knew it could pop. You know, it could possibly be nanobite. It could possibly be the chip. You knew the shit wasn't right, but a lot of people broke. Even people in the truth said fuck it and took it.
Yep.
So, you know, that don't mean that's over for you, but it's an indicator. Like color doesn't mean you are Israelite, but it is an indicator. We're not going to say color isn't important. The Israelites are people of color for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with that fucking jab, man. You know?
Yep. And that was like how the elder said, that's a test of your faith. But the only ones who really got faith are the ones who are really abiding in the truth.
You got to feel something real.
That's why Paul said, know ye not yourself, whether you be reprobates, unless you are not abiding in the faith. Because if you're a reprobate, means that you're basically a fraud or a hypocrite. You know, you're acting. So when a test of your faith comes, if you're not really abiding in the faith, then you're going to fold. You're not going to be able to withstand it. And that's why, and how do you withstand it? You got to study. You got to be built up, rooted and grounded in the Lord, man. Because when the winds come, he talked about it. When the winds come and they blew, the ones that built their house on that solid foundation, it couldn't. And none of the winds in the roaring of the seas and all that could come up against it. And that's how we have to be. Our house has to be firmly built, because the things that are coming down the pipeline is going to be nothing but tumultuous and tribulating times, man. So if you're not really firm in the Lord, give me Hebrews 12 and 26. If you're not really firm in the Lord, you're going to be shaken. And hey, Paul said it, be not so soon shaken, man. And a lot of people are shaken because their faith is small. Well, a lot of them don't even got faith. But even if some people, they got small faith. So when the times of adversity comes, they're what? They're afraid. And how the juicy jab showed you, they'll just end up taking it. And Esau knows that. All that was just a simulation for what he really got playing with the fourth industrial revolution, the Caracas. That's why he said he caused it all to take it. How is he going to cause? He's not going to do it by persuading. He's going to bring pressure on you. He's going to bring, in the word tribulation, goes into the word oppressing or pressing together. Like when when you press something together, you squeeze it. If you're not really tight, you'll pop. And a lot of people, pressure from below. Yep. Yeah. And a lot of people, they're going to pop because they're not really tight in the Lord, man. Yep.
Hebrews 12, verse 26. Whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven. And this word, yet once more, signifieth the removing of those things that are shaken, as of those things that are made, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain.
Hey, it says the removing of things that are shaken, man. Because the Lord is about to shake up the foundations that people stand on. King David talked about, you set my feet on a solid rock. Okay, and a place that I can't be moved in. Who is that rock? That rock is YAHAWASHI, man. So when the Lord starts to shake up the world, starts to shake up the things that people can have their faith in. Because remember, your faith is what you stand upon. Some people have their faith in their money. Some people have their faith in their religion. Some people have their faith in their families, whatever. But the Lord is about to shake everything. Everything is about to be shaken up through the calamities, through the end time, the Jacob's trouble, our temptation. So when those things start to shake up, if you're not standing on YAHAWASHI, you're going to fall, and you're going to be removed. And the only one that's going to be found standing is His chosen. That's why He says, "Then shall my chosen be known," because these are the ones that were standing upon me throughout everything, throughout all adversities.
Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability.
Oh, damn, perfect. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is His treasure. That's a treasured thing, to fear the Lord. You think about how this world is set up. It's literally a treasure to find somebody who actually fears God. Like when you come across somebody that's like, nah, God said you can't do that. But people are like, what? Like you eat pork? Nah, God don't like that.
I ain't Muslim.
Yeah. And they be like, what the God?
Muslim?
Hey, man, I'm praying, and not praying, but you know how you say a quick grace over your food?
Yeah.
And I try not to do it too much in public to show people I'm doing. I just come to find out Eve was watching this shit from over there. But I just did a little, you know how you like, I just did, she was, yo, did you just say a prayer over your food? I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? She's like, wow, I never, you don't see that no more and shit. And I try to keep it that I ain't do like, you know.
I know you got the registry. I know,
Yeah, but they peeped it like, yo, this nigga just said a spray over his food. And I had something simple like onion rings or some shit like that. And they just found it like fascinating just to see that. Just to back the elder point.
And that's a treasure, man. But see, that right now in this world is looked at as being awkward. Or looked at, but that's going back to what every knee shall bow. That's how the world's going to be, man. And when it's all said and done, everybody's going to reverence the Heavenly Father, YAHAWASHI. And we just hope that fact that we got like the inside track to doing it. We're like the first fruits of doing it. Because the ones who are doing it in the midst of being attacked, in the midst of everybody doing the opposite, the Lord has very good, he has pleasure in that, man. He has pleasure in the fact that we are subjecting our flesh to our spirits. That we are denying our flesh. That we're not going after the things flesh. Even with Moses, he said what? That can you give me that other Hebrews the 11th chapter?
I'm right here.
Oh, you got it? Oh yeah, you got it.
12.
That's right. 11 and Moses. Sojourn faith. Faith right here. 23.
Hebrews 11 verse 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment.
Yeah, not afraid of the king's commandment. And a lot of people, and that's integrity, man. Because the king's commandment was you had to kill all the firstborns or you was going to die. But they wasn't afraid of the king's commandment, and we're not afraid of the king's commandment. And the Maccabees wasn't afraid of the king's commandment. With Matthias and his sons, you see, because they was more afraid of who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi and doing his will than being afraid of man. King David said it, if the Lord be with me, whom shall I fear? And that's the mindset that you got to have during our temptation, during Jacob's trouble. If the Lord is with you, and you got to know the Lord is with you by what? By you serving the Lord, by you doing the things that are pleasing unto the Lord. And if you have that faith that the Lord is with you, there's nothing else that you're going to fear, man. Right. But once again, going back to the juicy juice, people didn't really believe that the Lord was with them. Even people that go to church, even so-called pastors, right? They didn't really believe that the Lord was with them because they would say, I need to get this to keep my job. Well, you don't believe in the Lord? Or you said the lady said, Jesus would take it.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, damn, I forgot about that.
So the lady told me Jesus would take the juice, man. And they gonna say that in the churches with the charagma. God would, Jesus would want you to, Jesus would take it.
What would Jesus do?
And you know what? Jesus would take it. But Yahawashi wouldn't.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, you ain't like that one, huh?
And that's what they say about. They talk about what? Another come speaking another Jesus, man. Another spirit, man.
Yeah, God.
Go ahead.
Verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to go suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
And that's the thing, man. And that's what people don't realize. That's what we're doing. Because we separate ourselves from this world and certain pleasures of this world for what? To be numbered amongst the children of God. And they look at us like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, you got some people that really think it's like crazy that we don't shave our beards, or that we don't deal with certain women if they got a woman that got a man. They look at that like, oh, if she want to fuck, why won't you just do it? She look good. And then they'll look at you as being like that you're a weirdo. But or like on the Sabbath, if the Sabbath happened, you can't cook or you can't
seafood.
Yeah, oh yeah, that happened to me the last week. I went out.
You gotta tell them you're allergic.
Yeah,
They be like, why? I'd be like, yo, yeah, they really ask you like, why you don't eat shrimp, no oyster? What is you allergic? I'd be like, yeah, I'm allergic. Spiritually allergic. I would say spiritually allergic. But I'm like, I can eat this shit, but you don't want to explain this to these fucking peons, man. You just be like, yo, leave me alone. I don't want this shit.
But that's the affliction that we gotta deal with but with these people in this world, man. Because they want you. I believe that's in 1 Peter, where he talks about they think it's what do they say, where you're not running with them no more. You can find, I think it's 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, where it said they find it strange that you run not with them no more, you know, and do the lasciviousness of sin. So they look at you like, why don't you do this no more? Why don't you do that? But it's ultimately because what? We are made free through we are made free through the truth. And once you know what the truth is, it's like, and you believe it, it's like, yo, you can't go back. That's why it says to him, who sins willfully after receiving the knowledge of the truth, to him it is sin. Because now you know what the truth is, so now you're deliberately going against what truth is. But everybody, you ask somebody in the world, anybody will tell you that they'd rather know what truth is. In a surface level, somebody you want the truth or you want to lie. Everybody gonna say I want the truth. But now when you actually bring out what truth is, they don't want that. They don't really want truth. They really want lies. And that's what Jake always wanted. Tell us not the right things, prophesy to us smooth things, tell us deceits. That's what they're not really saying tell us lies, but in their actions they're saying tell us lies. Because if we tell you that America's going to be destroyed, or do you want to hear America's going to be saved, they're going to say we want you to tell us America's going to be saved.
Because you're denying the truth.
Because you're denying what the truth. Because there's no truth in you.
They want that comfort.
But because if you had the truth in you, it would be comforting to know America's going to be destroyed.
Right.
And that's what separates, once again, the elect from everybody else, man. The fact that no matter how, what they call it, the ugly truth, no matter how bad it seems or how bad it sounds like, we still will want that because we know at the end of it, it still works out for our glory. So right. To us, there's really nothing that's ugly about the truth. It might be, a little bit difficult, going through Jacob's trouble, going through, the affliction, but there's nothing really ugly about it because the end of it is that end of the great city that Esdras, the angel told Esdras. The small path that you got to get to where the city is built where all good things is at, that's what we're really focused on. The straight gate is not what we're really focusing on. We're focusing on what happens after the straight gate. The glory of the kingdom, immortality.
And also too, it's the warning of it too. Like this is something we was warned of. So since we was warned of all the things that happen, even though we don't know that it's going to be exactly specifically for each individual, but the fact that the Lord warned us about it and he has out here warning other people, that's what makes also the truth not that ugly. Because once you take heed to a warning, it's different when that warning actually happens. Because it's like, all right, we was warned about this. You've been warned. That's the whole thing of a warning. Warning signs.
Hey, we've been warned, and we also been comforted by letting us know how that we're going to be able to escape it too. Because Lord didn't just say, "Oh, this is going to come, and y'all going to be on your own." He was like, "Nah, this is going to come, but fear not, because I'm going to be with you. I'll deliver you out of the same troubles that I'm telling you that's going to come." So when you have that understanding as well, it's not ugly to you. Because you're all right, well, shit gonna get crazy, but the Lord said, if I serve the Lord now, as what Moses said, that he chose to rather suffer the affliction so that he can get basically counted as being a part of the sons of God because of the glory. I believe it. If you're still there, no. You went 1 Peter? Salaki.
Go back.
Oh,
you had 1 Peter?
You got 1 Peter?
Yeah.
You can hold that. You just go back to that, and then we get 1 Peter. Because when Moses said that, he was a son of the king. So Moses was, what do you call him, the prince of Egypt, man, during Egypt's heightened time. But he knew that, right now, this might be good now for the flesh, but ultimately, I know what is the eternal weight that I'm truly seeking, that I truly desire. So I can't be a part of this wicked kingdom set up because ancient Egypt, most of the laws that we have now are based off of the wicked stuff that the Egyptians and the heathens were doing. The witchcraft, the making baldness of the head, abortions, the tattoos, printing of the flesh. All that stuff was practices that were practiced in Egypt. And this is modern day Egypt. So what you're seeing right now, a lot of the laws that are in the scriptures, those are the things that this modern day Egypt actually upholds and promotes. For instance, there's like tattoos. You got a tarot card reader, I don't know if it's still there, but there used to be a tarot card reading store right over there, going into divinations and witchcraft. Psychic readings. those things are made prevalent and readily available here in America. But the Lord said we gotta be separate from those things. So if Moses was to say, you know, I'm gonna stay being the prince of Egypt, then that means that he would have accepted and indulged in and promoted the wicked things of Egypt. So that's why Moses said, you know what, I gotta separate. I can't be called the prince of Egypt. I can't be called the son of Pharaoh. I gotta suffer the afflictions of my people. Go ahead.
Stop at the top or continue on?
Yeah, right where he said it. Start at 24.
Hebrews 11:24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Go ahead.
Esteeming the reproach of
this is right here why he did it. Go ahead.
Esteeming the reproach of YAHAWASHI greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. And he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith, he forsook Egypt. Not. Oh.
So like it. Run that back again, 26.
Esteeming the reproach of YAHAWASHI greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
There you go, man. Esteeming the reproach of YAHAWASHI greater riches, because the Lord said that anybody that suffers as a follower of YAHAWASHI basically has to suffer affliction, man. You got to suffer for the Lord. But that suffering isn't just, it's for a reason, and the reasoning is for the eternal weight of glory. So you got it in your mind, the affliction that you're going through now, we got to look at it. What is this affliction going to give us in the latter end?
And that's heavy because he was already in his wealth. You know what I'm saying? See, we deny wealth now through the Lord. You know, but when you in it and walk out of it, that's like the rich man.
Right.
That's
right.
another like test level of faith for you to when you good to walk into hell. You know what I'm saying? Like you was in a prestigious situation and you left it through faith and walked into it. I want to back that way quick because YAHAWASHI did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? This 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. For we know through the grace of our Lord YAHAWASHI that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that through his poverty you might be rich. Through what? Through the word. You know? So that was all reenacted because YAHAWASHI could have came on a rich tip. But what? He came on a poor level, and through his poverty and serving the Lord, you got the real riches of the word, which is his truth. And that's basically what Moses did. But it's all the same spirit.
Hey, because he said for pleasures of sin for a moment. And that's what most people, that's what really the people that's not in the truth, that's what they don't realize, man. Because at the end of it, they're gonna get the realization that all of the wickedness that they were doing for that pleasure was only for something that was temporary. And that's when they're gonna regret it. That's when it's to them, it's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck did I do that for? Because it's like, what is it worth now? There's no real worth to something that is temporary.
They kind of seeing that now. But now everything now is really just about keeping yourself afloat, keep your head above water. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that like they're not gonna be the super rich kind of motherfucker. Because like think about we're in our 30s, 40s, like what and you don't, the way it is now, you don't even know what each day is like. Damn, it's like a freaking soap opera. It's a movie right now. Everything like think what happened the last couple years, all this pandemic stuff. It's been like this. Now these devils getting more and more into their real plans for the end. That's what's happening now. It ain't about like prosperity no more. It's about the people that have it, them holding on to it, and niggas thinking they still could get it. But some people ain't gonna get it. You know what I mean? And the Lord showing you because the prosperity is done. Because everyone is so-called prospering with the fucking internet. Yeah. Like everyone's a celebrity now. That's why Chris Rock and Will Smith did that. That slap shit. You trying to promote your fucking comedy tour. That's what you did it for. And you boosted tickets up. But you would think, why would an A1 celebrity do some dumb shit like that? All you gotta do is step on the scene and the shit is sell out. Nah, because you got regular people with the use of the internet, they able to make themselves fans and celebrities, and people could make an online store and sell shit. Regular chicks out here make $100 grand and shit like that with the use of the internet. So prosperity
has become like more frequent. Yeah, you could be a stockbroker. 20 years ago, you tell somebody you're a stockbroker, they're like, what? Nigga, you like an exclusive type dude. You got forex, you got day trading, crypto, this and that the average person could get into and make bread. You know, all you just do is apply yourself, promote your shit through social media, you get a following, you sell the shit. This shit ain't hard. So now the average person is able to generate so-called money. And that's what the elites want, to get that money hungry thirst on. So when they switch it over to the chip, everybody will want to transfer their funds and hold on to what they got, man. So it like that, especially in Babylon, they make it easier and easier for people to try to obtain so-called riches, you know? You download a fucking Robinhood app and you a stockbroker. A fucking regular bonehead nigga that don't know left from right. He ain't even got a GED. He download Robinhood, you know, he get a few, you know. He's like, what do you do? I'm a stockbroker, nigga. You like, what? You know? And it's that simple. But that's a booby trap from these devils, man.
And that's when the Quran's gonna come, because as time goes on, where they hold on to all that, like, yo, you gotta get this little piece of rice injected into you, man. And that's what people really not thinking about. So all the other flying shit, that's cool, but it really comes back to the brother said, the MOTB, the mark of the beast. That's Esau's ultimate goal, and that's the ultimate sign for the end. So when they say, oh, you got cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all that, yeah, you made all this money, all that, but the way to keep it and hold on to it, you gotta get this Karagma, man. Simple as that. That's what it is. That's the end game. You know what I mean?
Yep, and the ones that are not in the truth, they're not going to be able to disassociate from this matrix of lies, man. Because you have people that really believe in this system. They believe in this system.
Damn, niggas thirsty as hell.
They believe in this system. So when the system switches, they're gonna switch right with it, man. Because this is their truth, you know? That's why the Lord said that you're of your father the devil. This is their truth. So when Esau changes it up and makes it, all right, now you gotta be completely indulged into the matrix, into the metaverse, into the beast system. People gonna be like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. They're already with it. They're already digitally prepped for this system, man.
All that gradualism stuff.
There's the boiling frog method, man. They're already in the pot. The heat is already rising, and they just chilling there, sitting there, just waiting to get cooked, man.
Like they pulled out the digital wallet.
Yeah.
With the gold crypto, digital wallet.
Yeah. The whole thing is if they want everybody to get marked with that mark, you know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that already have it. There's an article that said the first person got it in 1998. It's 2022, so how many people got it now? Remember, he said rich and poor. Right. So that means anybody under the elite level that has to pay taxes to the elites, they gonna have to get that. Straight lace. That's everybody. He said cause of all. Anybody, if you want to buy or sell, if you have to buy and sell, the Rothschilds ain't buying and selling. They doing all the selling and reaping benefits, hand over fist. But the people that like us and the people that's going to be like in the world, the financial world, they going to have to get inserted with that, man. If you want to keep yourself in society, you're going to have to get that, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. If you don't get it, you ain't going to be able to function.
And that's why it said, Revelation 12:12, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down upon you with great wrath, man. Knowing that he has but a short time. See, we're on the earth right now, but as YAHAWASHI said, that we're not of this world. So because the first part of it says, rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell therein. We dwell in the heavens, man. Our conversation is in the heavens. Our mindset is in the heavens. So the things that's happening on the low level, we're here, but we're not really thinking on that low level. So when this devil comes down with that great wrath, we're above our minds, our spirits, our vibration is above the wrath that he's coming down with to everybody with the Karagma that he's going to come down with. So to us, it's not really going to affect us. It's going to affect us on a carnal level, but it's really the spirit that people's spirits are going to be weakened, and they're going to fail in that day. And that's why they're going to end up taking the Karagma. stuff. You know? That's why the Lord says, set your affections on things above and not on things below, man. But our people, they're of the mind of the devil, so they set their affections, and that word affection goes into love. They set their love on the things below. So when Esau has the power of the earth right now. So when he takes it, and you love something that he takes, you're going to do anything to get it back.
Yeah. Like their kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Like
why
they take your kid from you through child services and say, listen, you gotta complete this program. And man, I seen Jake do it. Man, they be like, man, I gotta get my kids back. And they and that shit, and they do whatever Esau tell them to do. And the steps, and gotta get an apartment, the rooms gotta be this big, you gotta separate the bunk beds, and then we could give them back. They do all that shit.
And that's why the Lord said, he that loveth, can you give me that? He that loveth father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. Because Esau, he has the ability to take your kids from you. He has the ability to take your house from you, take your freedom from you. So if you love any of those things more than you love the Lord, then you're not worthy of the Lord. Because that means that you'll be willing to sacrifice what the Lord says to do in order to get those things that you love more than the Lord. And that's why he said that. He that, you got it?
Yeah, I got the similar one.
Okay.
I know you was getting it. Yeah, I got the other one.
Okay, you read
All right, Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sister, yeah, his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
That's right, man. And it doesn't mean physically hate with like a disdain.
Forsake.
Yeah, basically, if you're not willing to forsake all these things for the Lord, then you can't follow the Lord. Because the time is coming, the hour of temptation, where we pray that the Lord doesn't put us, certain of us in those situations where we have to forsake our children or our wife or whatever. But if it comes down, if that's your story, if that's your lot, then you got to go through with it, man. You got to, and read the example of the 7 brothers, man, with the mother. She told the last son to take the death, man. She told him to take that death because, and she said why? Because we know ultimately that I'll be able to basically, she says I'll be able to in reincarnation I'll receive you again, because it's better to die for the Lord than to live for the devil. Get that one?
Matthew 10:34. Think not, Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
And why is that variance? The word variance means difference. Why is that difference going to happen? It's going to be because some of those people are going to dwell in the truth, and some of them aren't. Some of them are going to follow the Lamb whether he goes, and some of them aren't. And the ones that are following the Lamb, they got a spirit. The Lord put a spirit onto them so heavy that they don't care what they have to sacrifice to follow the Lamb. They don't care at what expense it comes with, because really there's nothing more valuable than following the Lamb. And that variance and that mindset is going to cause a rift with the people who are not willing to follow the Lamb. That's why it says that blessed are ye that separate themselves from you and cast your name out as evil for my sake. Because we're not really the ones, even though we do separate ourselves from people in a certain instance, but we still can come around and deal with people, but they can't deal with us. It's like when you're on a level, if we're up here, we can go down there, but they can never come up here.
A wise man can act foolish, but a foolish man can't act wise.
There you go.
Because you could put on a garment and this and that, but as soon as something come out of your mouth, you're going to sound dumb as hell.
Yep.
So we could stoop to their level. We could come into their world without sinning and keep it cool and keep it cordial, but they can't relate to our level.
Right. Yep. And that's why they ultimately have to separate from ourselves, because really, we don't, if you're in the spirit and you're a man of the Lord, you don't really like going to that level that much.
It pisses you off after a while.
Like you're having to dumb down your conversation. Yeah, and it's like it's vexing to you. So it's like you'll do it, but you gotta really in moderation that you and it's really in real moderation that you gotta do that.
And the pocket says the talk of fools is irksome. Yeah.
Yep. So if you gotta do it yourself just to be around it, I just rather not be around them. You'd rather not just be around that type of environment, man. But they can never get to your environment, and then when you start to talk like that around them, they get mad. Oh, here he go. So it's like, hey, that's why the Lord said that it's forsake not to assemble yourselves amongst the brotherhood, man. That when you are amongst people in the same mindset as you, that's a good vibration to be in. Because now y'all can talk on a high level together and y'all both understanding what y'all talking about.
I'm about to say, and even if the conversation becomes maybe worldly, like you're talking about sports, it always comes back to the truth somehow when you're amongst the brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, because even with sports, a lot of that shit is staged.
Right.
So because people, they get so passionate about it. People like, yo, on the real, a lot of this shit is bullshit. They throw games, they shade points, bullshit Super Bowls. A lot of this shit is not real. I mean, some of them games is like, is authentic, but when Marshawn Lynch could have ran into that Super Bowl, like why they ain't give it to Lynch to run into the fucking he's just super running back. He's just super fucking beast mode and all this shit. You at the fucking, you gonna throw an interception? That shit is staged, man. This shit is staged, and a lot of that shit is bullshit, and they got a lot of politics with all the sports. None of the sports is authentic and genuine. Boxing, all of that shit. There's a lot of staged bullshit, fake shit going on. But, I mean, it's entertainment. Right, so people deal with it. But if you really want to get to the truth about shit, that's when they be like, oh, y'all about to fight.
You looking too deep into this shit, bro.
Like, I know y'all niggas ain't about to fight. Because really all this shit is bullshit. It's not real. What?
Yeah, they admitted get mad, then they both get mad at you.
Why you mad at me? They made it fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to dwell in the truth. Right. So that they'll beast and bark over a lie, but when you come with the truth, now they become your enemy. As Paul said, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Jake will get together for a lie, but for the truth, they will become your enemy for that, man.
Yeah, and it's just certain, you question, like, yo, Eli Manning won 1 year, and Peyton Manning, his brother, win the next year, and they just happen to be behind each other. Come on, like, it's just certain shit you look at, like this shit is like smoke and mirrors. I got a precept. Matthew 16:24. Then said YAHAWASHI to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. And what a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul, or what shall a man give in exchange for his own soul? Oh yeah, so he said what? Coming back from the top, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. So you got to deny the things you want and the things you want to do. Because to really look at it, if you really want to pursue things of this world, it's going to take up a lot of your time. You know what I mean? Because, all right, let's look at starting a fucking business, right? You start a business or something like that. That's going to, one thing, owning your own business and shit like that, it eats up, until you get it off the ground, it eats at a lot of your time. To the point where if you got kids and you got other things going on, you're gonna and when they say more money, more problems. So as more problems accumulate, you have what? More distractions, So you might have to, why you say elder of the church, or don't multiply wives, because women, after sex and all that, they want what? A lot of your time. Say you got 2 or 3 wifeys. Man, one chick might take 20 hours a week from you. Now, I mean, if you don't give her that, she gonna start bitching and complaining. She wanna go ahead, they wanna do this or do that. You gotta spend time with these women. I mean, you can't just smash them and curve them. They gonna get upset, especially the Israelite women. They wanna do shit. You know what I mean? They more of this world. It said, what? A man that pleaseth the Lord care for things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a man that is married care for things of the world, how he may please his wife. And now the Lord just showing you the balance, but if you got wives or a wife or a woman, they want to do shit.
And that's
They
why
want to go
Paul said it,
places.
be as though you have none.
Right.
You know?
You want to do places and go places. So that's why I said if a man will come after me, let him deny himself. Because certain things you want to do straight up is just straight up time consuming. To where the point you become the seed that fell amongst the thorns, and the thorns, the cares of this world, choke the word out. You become unfruitful. By and by, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So that's why I said let him deny himself, right? And take up his cross, take up the tribulations of being in his word that fits you, because it says his cross, and follow me. And whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Because you got people that's trying to run for cover on this side under Esau. Like, I ain't gonna deal with the truth, because the truth put clamps on a lot of things you trying to do in this world. Say you trying to, start a channel, a podcast or some shit, and people will be like, hey, you the dude from, they're gonna be like, yo, you the dude from, you the Bible dude. Right. But say you trying to be like cordial with like Edomites because, this the podcast. Right. But he might be like, so, I heard you don't like white people. So now it's like, listen, we're not going to talk about that right now. But the Lord could get mad because he say, what, in season and out of season. So now it's like you have this image of a prophet, but now you also known and popular for this podcast or for worldly shit. And people, haters gonna come like, yo, this dude don't like heathens. He was talking shit about Chinese people. Now you trying to do business with them. Fuck out of here. And they gonna sting. And so it's like you trying to be Clark Kent one, but the Lord said, well, I would give you praise and fame, and the land you was put to shame. So now you're a brother that your face is out there, you're a little known, people know you, and you're trying to do something else with your life, but it's not really taking off because the spirit of the word is quenching your business and it's not letting it grow but so much. So only thing you can really do is like, man, fuck the truth. I ain't with that no more. And down talking. Like, I lost my mind back then. I ain't know what I was doing. It was a cult. They had me in a trance. I'm back to myself now. That ain't me no more. And people are like, okay, we forgive you, and your business take off.
That's where it's fucked
Or
up.
you could say, man, fuck this shit. It's not going nowhere. I'm going to take what I could get from it, but I'm not denying the Lord. But they always going to, like, the two images is of you with this world and being known in the truth. It's going to, like, they're going to cancel each other out.
Yep. You can't serve two masters. And that's a part of the affliction that you gotta. That's a part of the cross that you gotta take up. That's why it's really being in the truth. You kind of really just want to be behind the scene until the Lord give you the glory. Not trying to big yourself up or trying to make yourself popular and known. Because the Lord said, they that take the low seat, that He's gonna glorify. He's gonna exalt. If you're trying to put yourself on a high seat, like plateau already, oh yeah, we trying to just have multiple different, sites, and we trying to have a big building, and trying to have a podcast and a stream and all this and that, so that everybody can see us. It's like you're doing that for vainglory,
Yeah. He trying to become like bigger, the vainglory. But that's gonna cancel you out, because as you get big, and you really want to get big in this world, you gotta deal with the heathens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be like on no racist shit, because you're gonna quench your money. Then a lot of Israelites don't like you being like that.
Right.
They gonna be like, man, we ain't gonna support this dude.
Yep.
Like the dude who made cakes. The homo dude came in there and was like, yo, he wanted a gay cake made. But he was,
I remember that.
Yeah, he was like, we ain't gonna make that.
Yeah.
And his whole business got shut down.
Cancel culture.
That's the wrong people to offend.
Yeah, his whole shit got shut down. And he was doing so-called all right for himself, but he was like, nah, I refuse to do that, blah, blah, blah. Man, they bombarded his whole shit and shut his whole
It was a
shit
couple
down.
years ago. I remember that. It was a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
it was
that
a big
happened.
cake. It was a
Yeah.
big thing, yeah. His whole cake business, he wanted some homo shit done to the cake.
Like an LGB cake or something.
Yeah, with a rod on it or something. But he was like, nah, hell no, I ain't gonna do that. And the dude hit him with the discrimination. You know,
Lawsuit.
Esau got laws on discrimination.
Yep.
So he came back with his gay squad and all that shit, with the cameras and all that shit, and hit him with and shut his whole shit down.
Just like
And
that.
that's what happens when you gotta like deal with Esau and his regulations, the LLCs and stuff like that. You gotta abide by his rules. Same thing with the 501. You know, certain things you can't teach because you will lose your tax exemption, tax exemption status. So that's why like you can't be in this world. That's why the Lord said it. Yeah, be a user but not an abuser. Don't be entangled with the affairs of this life, man. We just gotta be trying to get your daily bread, however system, whatever however you in the system. Don't be too involved in the system because ultimately that system is just
suck you
going to
up,
swallow you,
yeah.
and they about to transfer it. You gonna have a lot of people that's going to take the charagma because they want to, is because they're so invested in the system. So many things that they feel like, yo, I can't lose because if I lose these things, then I'm not going to be able to survive without these things. And that's why you got to be able to deny yourself. Being a pilgrim on the earth. The Lord talks about being a pilgrim on the earth. All these things that we read about, it's not just reading it. We got to apply it. And really, when we get into the hour of temptation, all these things got to be applied, man. Because that hour, that time that we're coming in, you can't be attached to anything of this that's in this world. And nothing you can have attachment to.
And for brothers that's more simple-minded, it ain't talking about you can't do you with, because sometimes brothers take scriptures and suffocate their whole self till they just
being over
bugging
righteous.
the fuck
Why
out.
destroy thyself?
Yeah. Look, man, you want to go to the fucking Corey Holcomb concert? Go, man. Who cares? Look, man, you want to buy you some chains or like fucking gold ring or some shit? Do it. But I mean, doing something you ain't sin to do it. You saved your money, you purchased it, fine, whatever. I'm talking about like major time-consuming shit that's gonna really affect and change you and really bump heads with the word. I'm not talking about, this weekend me and my girl going here to Jamaica for the weekend. We gonna chill, we gonna fly back, life goes on. I'm not talking about simple, small shit like that. I'm talking about big, major moves that's gonna put you in a certain limelight that if I do this, this is gonna affect the truth. And I might put myself in a hard place where I'm making an ultimatum between this and the truth. And I could possibly bait myself with making so much income or money to where I starve the truth out. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about small punk petty shit. You want to drive down to fucking Florida or some shit like that, or do your little thing, because we men and we have our hobbies. But the Lord come first. But it's certain moves you can make in your life to where you push the Lord out the picture. I'm talking about that.
That's the whole serving two masters, man. Because the Lord said it. You can't serve two masters. And most people, they already chose what master they're going to serve by their conduct. By their actions, you see what they're about, man. And they come out and tell you, I'm on money bag chase. It might be some.
Don't be blowing me up or blowing me up. If it ain't about the money.
Another one might be women. Men might. The scripture says that men even run out of their wits for women. So there's different vices that can engulf you or captivate you, that takes you away from serving YAHAWASHI. And that's why the Lord said, if you love anything more than me, you're not worthy of me. Because none of those things that you are serving can give you what YAHAWASHI is going to give you. The salvation, eternal life, the kingdom. But it's to you, whether or not, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that the Lord said, what? Behold, I come quickly, my reward is with me to give every man according to as his work shall be. So what you're going to receive is going to be what you put in. You're going to get what you have given. And if you didn't give your all, if you didn't give your life, as the brother read, the elder read, that he that seeks to save his life shall lose it, but he that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
Right.
If you didn't give your life for the Lord, then he not going to give you life. You going to get death. Because that's what you gave to the Lord. You didn't give him your life. So, and he don't want half of it. He want the whole thing, because it's his in the beginning anyway. He gave your life for you.
It's Sirach 38:24. Wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, meaning your leisure time, which in the Latin, leer, or Spanish, which means to read. Like leer la Biblia, read the Bible, right? And he that have little business shall become wise. Meaning, business, that's where you get the word like busy from. You know, if you got little business, you shall become wise. You know what I mean? Because now you got more time to study this, to read this. Blessed is he who read. It takes time to read. It takes time to study something. It takes time to digest it mentally for it to become a part of you and for you to recite it and teach it. All of that takes time. That's why I'm going to read it again. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow or glory in the gold, that driving oxen and is occupied in their labors, whose talks is of bullocks? Sirach 38:24 and 25. Yeah,
Ecclesiasticus.
Apocrypha.
So, but that just telling you, like, the more you occupy, say you own a laundromat and you occupying in the truth, okay, fine. And you like, man, I'm about to give me like 2 more laundromats. What that's gonna do is, that's gonna have you like so, yeah, you're gonna be like, man, then you're gonna start hitting brothers, yo, man, yo, I can't come today. But at a certain time, all right, cool. But then it's gonna be like, yo, we never see you no more. Or you might pop up here and there, or you might come late, leave early. You just always like tied up to the point where you just like push out of the word and you don't even fucking realize it.
Get that in Second Timothy, the entangle. Because even when you go into like entanglement, meaning adultery, that's kind of you being occupied like that. You're committing adultery, spiritual adultery on the Lord, man. Because you now have given your spirit over into another device, another idol. Because the things that let's say that job that you have has now become an idol to you, because that's what you feel as though is your salvation, or that's what you feel as though is your where your power is at.
Right.
And that's why you become entangled, going into the word entanglement, which means adultery. Go ahead.
2 Timothy 2 verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
There you go, man. So if you are entangled with the affairs of this life, you're involved in it. Like, you know, when people say, oh, me and her were involved together, you're involved with the affairs of this life. But the Lord said what? That whoever loves this life, the love of the Father's not in him. You know, you love this world, then the love of the Father's not in you. Because you have made yourself a servant unto this world, which this world lieth in wickedness. So the Lord can't dwell in you if you just are all about the ways of this world. If you all are if you are engulfed in this world, the Lord's ways are not in you. And ultimately what ends up happening, you become now a reprobate, and then you fall out, the Lord takes the spirit from you, and now you become an enemy to the Lord. And we see it happen time and time again, man. Where they fall out, they just don't just fall out the truth. They now become an enemy to the truth.
Yeah, they slowly drift. It's like, you know how you in the ocean by the sand, you just chilling, but that wave just slowly drift you into like deeper water, and you just like chilling, or you might be on like a little float, and you talking and shit, but you're like, yeah, brother, this and that, and you look up, you like, oh shit, pulled us out. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how like Satan is, like he will like drift you into like the world to the point where you thinking like you still around, but you're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of like, yo, we don't really like see that brother no more. We ain't kick him out the camp. We ain't tell him he's gone or he out. He didn't say he was leaving. He called, or sometimes, brother, he just like, You know?
It's even deeper because that happens after you drift away in the spirit. Because you drift away from the Lord first before you actually mention. Yeah, you drift away from the Lord first before it physically happens. So in the spirit, your mind is already in the deep end in the ocean, and you don't even realize it. And then your body then reacts to that, to your mindset, and then that's when you stop coming around and doing all those things that would make it seem like you're in the truth, or make it seem like you're still serving the Lord. And that happens when it comes to, that's why you always got to examine yourself, because that can happen from you realizing that you don't read that much, realizing that you don't study that much, realizing that you don't communicate with brothers that much, realizing you don't do videos that much that you used to. The next thing you know, it's like, you don't do videos, you don't study, you don't be around brothers, you don't pray.
Come early,
you don't
come late, leave early.
Yep, you don't come to camp. It's like you're not even in the truth. Like you're saying, oh, shalom, you know how to say this, but it's like your mind is already gone. Now you're just knowing the things that you already known, but you're not elevating anymore, and you're not you're not consistent with serving the Lord anymore.
Then you deceive yourself.
Yep.
Like, now I'm still in it. I just ain't been around for a while. You know, no, because that's in the scripture. The Lord, the first person that'll lie to you, or the most dangerous lie, is the one you tell yourself. You know, they got a saying now. But in the scripture, the Lord tells you, "Let no man deceive himself." That's repeated heavy, and it's a wise saying. One of the most dangerous lies is the one you tell yourself. You know.
And many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Right.
You know, you can be not wise in your own conceits. It's a bunch of scriptures that talks about not being not deceiving yourself, man. Your heart is deceitful above all things. That's why you gotta always examine yourself, man. And even throwing up a prayer. You know, something I always do whenever I think about it is throwing up the prayer of Psalms 51, because it's really the Lord has to have that mercy on you for Him to not take that spirit from you. You know, having that spirit, not because once the spirit is taken from you, you can't get it back. Ask Saul. I'm sure Saul wanted it back, but he couldn't get it back. The Lord told him that way. He had what was the word he said? He basically
Rents?
not rents, but when Samuel told him that he not dealing with him anymore, for lack of a better word, he told him like he's not. Huh? Yeah, when he summoned him, yeah, he said he's not dealing with you no more. And it's like, yeah, at that point, you can't do nothing. That's very fearful. Because if the Lord said he's not dealing with you, it's not like you can convince, like, tell him, you still dealing with me. Like your girl would tell you, like your girl be like, yo, like, you tell your girl, I'm not dealing with you no more. She's like, nah, no, you are. You still dealing with me. But you can't do that to the Lord. Like,
we together.
yeah. You're not going nowhere.
But you gonna kill his car?
That's forever, babe.
Only at that point, all you could do is be like, man, I'm just glad I'm an Israelite.
Yeah.
And that's all you can be happy that you is. Like,
And for message for brothers, like that's also a thing that we always in the war with the spirit and the flesh. You always gonna feel like that sometimes, but you have to continue to keep fighting and getting back up and continue to serve with the Lord instead of more things of this world. Because if you keep going back to drift to the things of the world, that's how you really cast yourself away. But if you're like, all right, well, like brother said, stay in contact with brothers, praying, all of that, man, it all helps. Because really, there's not much we could do other than those things. You know, if you really think about it, like, you know, our day-to-day, you go to work, you do whatever you can to stay in the Holy Spirit.
those worldly intentions too.
Exactly.
When you feed that shit, it's like the flesh. If you starve it, it dies. You feed it, it grows.
Yep. And that goes with being all in the midst of that shit too.
I was just about to say that worldly company.
Yeah, all in the
that
midst of that
shit
shit.
dumbed you down.
Yeah.
Now we all got brothers and cousins or best friends that's cool, friends of the prophets, but you gotta keep that shit limited, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you gotta keep that worldly company limited, because they ain't got shit that after a while you like that shit drift on you.
Yeah.
Like that negative spirit, that shit is contagious.
Right.
Yeah,
And
precept.
the Lord said, be awake, don't be next to a proud man, at least I'll become unlike you. And Sirach, I believe Sirach 13, you become like him. So you gotta like, don't get me wrong, we got our brothers and cousins and people
Friends
we
we grew
deal
up
with,
and stuff. Yeah.
but you can't find, because you can't find yourself constantly chilling with them, because they're gonna fuck you up. You love them from a distance.
James 4 verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to the Most High, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh unto the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. And that's the thing. Double-minded meaning you trying to go two ways. It says, woe unto the sinner who goes two ways, man. You can't go this way and also you can't take the broad gate and the straight gate. There's only one path that you can take. So you draw nigh to the Most High, He gonna draw nigh to you, and you'll know, that the Lord is dealing with you. When the Lord dealing with it, you feel the Spirit dealing with you, and then when you feel the Spirit, sometimes it happens where like you don't have the Spirit on you to teach, and it's like when you don't have the Spirit on you, but when the Spirit is also on you, right. And it's like if you're not having conscious enough of, the Spirit hasn't been on me that long, that much, or hasn't been on me for that much. Like I haven't had the Spirit on me that for a long time. That's when you should start thinking like, I gotta draw nigh to the Lord again. I might have to fast. I might have to do something. That's you being pure in your mind. Because the Lord may do that sometimes. He may keep you. He may take the Spirit off you for a while so that you can actually beseech Him harder. Yeah.
Spiritual highs and spiritual lows.
Yeah. Because sometimes you may think like, I might have to fast. Because maybe the Lord wants you to fast. Because you haven't fasted in a while. So he don't give you that. He put you in the spiritual low so you can have the mind to go fast, and then now you get elevated or something gets revealed to you. You have a dream or something happens. The Lord
like
always does it.
Shedding the skin. Like the Lord will break you down and build you up.
Right.
And the truth, He ain't just going at times He'll be like, all right, I'm gonna break you down. Then you down for a while, I'm gonna build you back up. I'm gonna break you down and build you back up like a snake shed its skin. Like periodically, the snake, like the skin. Nah, I'm gonna shed you off and I'm gonna give you a new fresh layer. But you're gonna hit the low point, but then I'm gonna bring you back up. Like the stop mark. And that's one thing about the elect. And what's scary about it, you gotta be humble and in prayer, because the Lord could bring you down and lead. Be like, yo, that's it for you. But that's why you got to stay in prayer and stay humble. That He restore you and build you back up.
Proverbs 24 verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
You just stay there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because if you can fall, everybody falls, but when you get back up, that lets you know that the Lord's still dealing with you.
Right. And it's that breath.
Yeah,
that was a close call. And it's always a close call because when we in the flesh and we're not promised nothing, it's all under the mercy of YAHAWASHI. So when you hit certain lows, it could be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the Lord dealing with me?
But I never was a brother that, through the mercy of the Lord, that actually go back in the world and come back. But certain brothers that I did speak to who did that, that was that was a real devastating time, man. Because especially depending on what you're dealing with in the world, you know what I'm saying? You don't know when them demons or when the Lord's judgment is going. You just kind of like out there, and in your mind, like, I gotta get back, I gotta get back, I gotta get back. But you don't know if you will actually get back and make on some prodigal son shit. Yeah. And it's like, yo, if I go back where the brothers accept me, do I gotta do my own thing?
And when the Lord accept me, because that's even a fearful thing, because the Lord said, have mercy on whom I have mercy on.
Right.
So it's like, you gotta, if you come back, your mind, your conscience could condemn you for you to think, well, the Lord not gonna deal with me no more because I went out and I went back into the world. Now we know, as we always talk about, the Lord's mercy is everlasting. So the Lord said He will have mercy. Lord will have mercy. As our sins is great, His mercy is greater. But it's just like now you got to deal with the mindset of, is that mercy gonna fall on me? Am I gonna get that mercy?
It's always questionable because we all fuck up,
And that's why I said, as it was in your mind to forsake the Lord, so shall it be in your mind to seek Him 10 times more. Because even with Paul thought he was doing the right thing when he was Saul, but then when he found out he was doing the wrong thing, he went even harder. Because he had the mindset to do, he had a zeal, but he had a zeal for the wrong thing at first. Yeah, he lacked to understand it. But when you fall into mischief, that's you basically adding sin onto sin. Because if you might sin, And a righteous person would sin and then be sorrowful unto repentance. But if you sin and be like, you know what? I already thought about hitting her up. You know she got a man. I already thought about it. So, you know, let me just slide here DM anyway. That's you falling into mischief. And that's a wicked mindset to have. Because that's the mindset of Esau. Esau, the devil, all he does is just thinks about how to add more sin onto sin.
Right.
And that's why we get into the point of the Karagma. Because that's the ultimate, the last point. But he already had this mindset even from Antioch, man. That all people leave their religion and follow him. So that's why you got to always have it in your mind to fear the Lord and always think about the Lord's mercy and his wrath. Because it says, as his mercy is great, so is his judgment as well, man.
I got a quick precept what we talk about. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 14, verse 2. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. Talk about like how we don't know where we stand. So like your sins ain't condemn you, like, cause we all got it. We all got it on a resume to the Lord. To like, yo, y'all all should be put to death. Like, think every single Israelite should be put to death off of what's on his resume of sin and fornication and iniquity. That's what it is. So that's why my brother said we hope the mercy falls on us, because like the Lord didn't tell us exactly that you gonna get mercy. Hey, but he said the thing. Oh my bad. Go ahead. He said the things you're supposed to do to get the mercy, but you still cannot get the mercy. He said many have prophesied in my name and ain't get it. So that's why I said you gotta hope. You better hope you get mercy, because it's gonna get ugly out here, man. All of this walking around in the streets, it's not gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, yo, straight up, yo, I don't know. I ain't eaten 2 weeks a good meal. You probably ate like some chips or something. In 2 weeks, like on some talking about like when it get really hard out here, when everybody's out here looking for their next meal or next drink of water.
They said his conscience, right? They condemn himself. But really, it's the conscience, it's the voice of the Lord. It's not really your conscience, because you could be like, man, did I go off some shit like that? But when you do something dead wrong, and it's that like, yo, nigga, you fucked up for that. Like, you better repent, you better fast. That shit was dead off. When you got like that conscience in your head that's rebuking you, that's really the voice of the Lord.
No one else.
And that right there also, hope is tied to humbleness. Because if you hope for something, you can't hope for something prideful, you know. And that's why the Lord said that pride wasn't made for man, because we all technically are under hope. Especially I'm talking about Israel. All of Israel is we're just on hope that the Lord is going to deliver us and save us and send Yahweh, and we be a part of that elect. So therefore, if you are hoping for something that you can't give yourself, there should be no reason for anybody to have pride. And that's why when the Lord comes, he's going to set, and this world is built off of pride. That's why when the Lord has this all hell break loose, it's going to take away the pride of men. A lot of people are going to, not being able to eat itself is a humbling thing. You can't talk shit really when you're hungry. It hurts to laugh. It hurts to breathe. So like at that point,
hunger
headaches, you're frail, you're weak. All of that's the Lord making you humble, because so many people are just so prideful. You got people that are handicapped that be prideful.
Yeah.
It's like homeless that are prideful. I remember I gave I was in Italy. I gave a gypsy lady. She had her baby, and I had nothing in my pocket except like I guess a euro penny. It was equal to a penny, and I gave it to her. She like, man, mi bambino, por favor, senor, mi bambino. I'm like, yo, that's all I got. So I gave her a penny, and she took it out and gave it back. Yo, I'm like, give my penny back, yo.
I know you gonna say that.
Yo, she took it back.
I thought you were gonna take it back.
No, she took it back and gave it back.
I never heard
I'm
that.
like, yo, that right there just bugged me out. I'm like, yo, that's how. But that's the pride of people, man. What do they say? Beggars can't be choosers.
Word. Damn.
But that's just how this world is set up. That's why it says in 2nd Esdras. Let me pull that up real quick. 2nd Esdras. Yeah, 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. You know, many great, because misery, it cancels out pride, man. When you're in a miserable state, you're no longer can have pride. You can no longer be prideful in that state. That's why a lot of people that's like on their deathbed are sick. The most humblest people is when like your body like is like when you're like really sick. Yeah, when you're weak. Then you go to people that's in the hospitals, that's like in a hospice. There's not a lot of pride coming out of there unless you're a damn demon.
That whole floor is humble.
Yeah.
Like when you walk on the hospice floor.
It's quiet.
Yeah, it's like, what? It's just like a whole shit. It's like going in jail, a jail chair with everybody facing bodies. You can't, that's why they don't send people that with lower crimes on a murderous chair. Because you go in there like, man, I got fucking 4 months. But these guys facing double murder and shit like that, they probably hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody in there is more like serious, like, yo, this dude boasting and bragging about he got 4 months and shit like that. Like, dudes in here facing 50, 60 years, 100 years, double life, and all kinds of shit. And they send this clown ass nigga up there. They probably attack you and get at you. You know what I mean? Because everything more of a serious plane. Just like the hospice floor.
I was gonna say, we got a testament right here. A few years ago, the brother walked off. But remember, it was right here. Dude came and asked, like, yo, to get some money for some food. You remember that? He went to the pizza spot. The brother said, this brother right here, the elder said, yo, I'll give you some pizza. He's like, nah, I want a Subway. Yo, we was like, what? Remember that? He was like, I'll get you some pizza because like we about to start camp, actually. And the dude was like, nah, I want a Subway. He said it just like that. Nah, I want a Subway. Like,
it's a Subway around here?
No, it might be gone now. It's still there?
Gone now.
Yeah, it might be gone. But I know back then, that was a few years ago, it was there.
And then he was like, all right, can I get extra cheese?
Like, Dad, like, you can get extra cheese, but like, you're asking so like, bro, you supposed to, whatever I give you, you supposed to just take in stride and not pride. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it just, you know.
And but that just goes to show you how the mindset of these people in this world is,
Right.
man. Like, pride is just oozing out of everybody,
It's an
man.
invisible drug.
Like, you got children, you got kids that be prideful, man.
Yeah.
Towards their parents.
Yeah.
You know, pride, and that's why the Lord is going to bring such devastating things to this world, because it's going to destroy the pridefulness of people. Because really the only entity underneath Yahawah that should be prideful is YAHAWASHI. And he came lowly and meek. The creator, the second in command of the universe, came on a donkey of an ass, man. He got beat, he got spit, he got lied on. And he was the only one that was perfect enough to be prideful. But yet you got all these people out here that are just walking around in pride in their wickedness, man. But this is an example of what the Lord is going to do. I'm going to read this, 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse, I start at verse 4. It says, then swelling with anger, is speaking about Antioch, Antiochus Epiphanes, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Therefore commanded he his chariot men to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews. But the Almighty Lord, the God of Israel, smote him with incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of those bowels that was remnantless came upon him, and sore torments on the inner parts, and that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. Howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain. And thus he that with a little afore thought that he might command the ways of the sea, so proud was he beyond the condition of men, and weighed the high mountains in balance, was now cast on the ground and carried in a horse litter, showing forth all of the manifest power of God, so that the worms rose out of his body of this wicked man, And whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. And the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, because he surnamed himself Epiphanes, which means a God manifested. So this is an Edomite that said basically like, I'm God in the flesh. And he said, therefore, Salakia, where was I? Oh, no man could endure to carry forth his intolerable stink. He therefore being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God, his pain increasing every moment. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words, it is meet to be subject to God, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think himself as if he were God. For this wicked man vowed also unto the Lord, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying thus, that the holy city to the which he was going to haste to lay even to the ground and to make a common burying place, he was set at liberty. And as touching the Jews, whom he had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children, to be devoured of the fowls and the wild beasts, he will make them all equals to the citizens of Athens. In a holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would garnish with goodly gifts and restore all the holy vessels with many more, and out of his own venue defray the charges belonging to the sacrifices. Last verse. Yeah, and that all also he would become a Jew himself and go throughout all the world that was inhabited and declare the power of God. So the Lord he was a proud man, but the Lord broke him down through a disease to the point where he was willing to go serve the Lord and actually become a teacher of the Jew religion, so to speak, man. And that just goes to show you, and this is a man that was a king over I think what Antioch was at the Ptolemaic Empire. He was a king over the Ptolemaic Empire at this point, man. Edomite at this point, and the Lord broke him down. Same thing he did with Nebuchadnezzar. You know, and that's what the Lord is about to do to this place, man. Because all of these people have the same mind, the same prideful mind that they can't be touched. A lot of people think they can't be touched, and that's why they walk around with this pride, because they have this mind of, well, we're in America. America will never be a third world country. There will never be war here. As long as I'm able to get up and go to work and go to the store, then I'll be good. But the Lord's about to destroy all that, man. In an instant, everybody. And the only one that's going to be delivered from that is the ones who were humbled before that whole calamity came and came to serve the Lord.
Yeah, through therefore through faith, they're going to be delivered.
Be humble, man. Humble route is always the best route, man. He made an Edomite. When he was reading, I was like, damn, I don't remember that one. But when you said Maccabees, I was like, oh, that's old boy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, for a man to like be humble by his own stench, like you ever been that stench you invented yourself?
So you take a shit, you like, yeah. I got it. Are you smelling something? Woo!
Yeah, that's a minute. That's a minute. How long was this? This is like this is more than a few days. This is like over some time. Like, so he just sick. He was sick. Yeah, like he was sick. So like, it's not like just not bathing. Like he could. He was rotting.
Nah, that gotta be a horrible smell. Because normally people don't get offended at their own stench.
Right. Very rarely.
That's you decaying. Your body's decaying, but your spirit is still in your flesh.
Yeah. They're probably like, it's like a flesh eating
He said that
disorder,
his whole army was bothered by how he smelled, man. And this was the king. This was the king that his whole army couldn't even deal with him. Like, yo, you stink too much, bro.
Yeah.
And he said what? At that point, the Lord brought him so low that he said that he declared that it's meat. It's meat to serve the Most High, man, the God of Israel. And this is an Edomite that the Lord did this, that the Lord made say this, man. And that's how you know that you can't mess with the Lord, because nobody can come against the power of the Lord, man. Even Esau and his pridefulness, the Lord's looking at him as if like, yo, you're nothing. You're still the basis of man to me.
Fucking picture.
Yeah, you're still the basis of man. I'm the one who raised you up to this point.
Right.
And I'm going to bring you back down.
That's beautiful.
You know, it's all good. I got one more. Now I guess, you know, brother's got something, but we can close it out. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 11. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be brought down, and the Lord alone, YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, shall be exalted in that day. And that goes back to every knee shall bow, man. Because people done forgot that only the Heavenly Father and His Son is the ones that should be exalted, man. Should be praised. And the Lord is going to give, He said He's going to give us a praise in the land that we've been to put to shame. We're not going to give ourselves a praise. So even us right now that's in this truth, you shouldn't be looking to get praise from yourself, man. You shouldn't be looking to get. Now, certain people might say, oh, you know, you're good, you know, but the scripture says, let another man esteem you.
Not their own lips.
Not their own lips. Only ones that should esteem themselves is the Heavenly Father. He does it, man. And it's like when the Lord does it, we always talk about it. When he said like, is there another God? He's not even bragging. He's like, that's just the facts. That's just true.
Posing a fair question.
You
No
know,
one's brought the answer.
like he said, I lift up my hand and swear to myself.
Right.
He's not even exalting himself. He's just telling the truth.
Where and he's disrespected every other god. So like, why has no other god or nothing defended themselves against him? Because there ain't really no gods, no other gods except him. That's why he said it. And like, there was another god. That means he made him, and he's not gonna do that. He's the infinite power. He can't not be the infinite power because it's only
Yeah, man. You know, so we close it out there. Lord willing, this is edifying and to the elect, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Until next time, Shalom.